Hello everyone, I'm back with another share of a couple of projects, a card and a quilt that I have finished. So I'll start with the card and of course what I used to make the card. So the first thing that I used was the Grand Nestabilities, and this is Grand Labels 1, and I picked these up at, I don't remember. Maybe I got these on eBay. I don't remember. It's been a while. I've had them for quite a while and I've only used them maybe once. Yeah. So I'm pulling out stuff that I haven't used in a long time. I've had this for quite a while and only used it once. Yeah, this was a gift from Linda. This is Prima and it's Stationer's Desk. So I used that paper stack, and then I also used a piece from this. This is Recollections. It's Christmas Noel, and the paper that I used is this one right here. It's a aged gold foil. I know it's super bright, but when you alcohol ink this, it is gorgeous. So that's what I did. And then I also pulled out this die, which I bought not too long ago and I haven't used yet, so I finally got to use it. This is the Spellbinder's Wreath. That's super cute. I really love the way that that cuts out. I will be using that again. And then I used this stamp set, which again has been in the basket forever. I've had this set and used it quite a bit for a long time, and now I have a lot more sentiments, so I don't use it as often. But it's just one of those great all-around sets, and I can't imagine myself getting rid of it because it has literally everything in it. It's PTI Mixed Messages Volume 3, Number 10. So that's all the messages that it has. Super cute. I mean, all the beautiful fonts, different messages, so it's just really a great all-around set. So if you're looking for one, this one I highly recommend, and the Hero Arts one I highly recommend too. So I'm going to move this stuff out of the way and bring in my card. So this card is a little different than what I normally do. There is, as you noticed, there is no Copic image. This is for Linda. This is her belated, very merry unbirthday card because it's so late. And so it's a mixed media card. So it's a I think it's a 5.5 by 5.5 card. And oops, I forgot something. I'll be right back. One more thing that I used on this card, which gives it its beautiful age, is this Stampendous Aged Gold embossing powder. It's like the frontage. I don't know how you say it. Somebody help me out here. But anyway, that's, lighting's terrible, you guys. I'm sorry. I gotta get some umbrellas. Anyway, so that's what it looks like. It's very antique gold. It almost looks brown. Lighting is really bad. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning, so this is probably why. Anyway, oh, that's what it looks like. Maybe you can see that. That's what it looks like when it's embossed. Okay, so back to my card. So what I did, everybody knows that Linda stitches on every stinking piece of paper when she creates something. So for Linda, because that's something that she loves, I stitched on every stinking piece of paper. Yes, I did. Just for you, Linda. Just for you. This is why I like stitch dies. So that took a while. And so on each one, I stitched it and I distressed it, and then I used my Versamark embossing powder and randomly added that. And you can see here, randomly added that. Let me get some more lighting over here. Oh my gosh. Okay. I don't think that's any better. Sorry, guys. Now it's seriously in my face, but maybe that's better. So, as you can see, I just randomly put it around the edges. All the way around the edges. But it turned out so cool. I mean, I really, really love it. And, oh my gosh, the lighting, guys. And so, did the stripe layer and the frottage. I inked the edges of the card. And then I added this layer here. It's like a script in kind of a tan color, and I zigzag stitched all the way around that one. And then the top piece I cut out with that Spellbinder's Grand Nestabilities, that one. I used the two smaller ones. And then I stitched that one like a quilt. Being that I have a quilt for her birthday, I wanted to repeat that in the card. And then here is the larger, where's it at? Should have been more prepared. I'm not prepared. Here is the larger of the wreaths from Spellbinders, and the little one is sitting right here, and that's this one right here. And then you can see that's one of the little petals from the center. And then this is one of the journaling cards from the collection of this Prima paper. That is the PTI sentiment. This is just a recollections leaf that I had in my stash. A metal piece that it says hugs and kisses. I have hoard vaulted that for something for Linda for 5 years. Yes, ma'am. 5 years I've hoard vaulted that just for her. So, and then these flowers here are so hoard vault. These flowers, you guys are gonna pee your pants. These flowers are from when I worked at Joann's and I quit in 1999. That's how long I've held on to those puppies. Yeah, that's ridiculous. And I have more, I kid you not. They look like dried flowers, and I used to use these for wreaths that I made for customers, because when I did craft shows out here originally, that's what I started with. I started out with wreaths and floral arrangements, because that's what I knew. And a few ornaments here and there, but I didn't, when I first started out here, I didn't design dolls. I did design dolls, but just not for sale. Anyway, getting off track here. There is some linen twine. That's the stuff from Netherlands that I love so much. There is a little clock hand in there. Yes, ma'am, there is. It's for Linda. I mean, come on, everybody knows that. There's a little pearl, a gold pearl sitting on top of it. These are from the die. This is one of those little wood hearts from Recollections. They were a couple years ago in the $1.50 bin or whatever. Came with a whole pack of them. Anyway, excuse me, I used some white frottage on that one. And then, sorry guys, I'm not coordinated at 3 o'clock in the morning apparently. And let's see, I stitched across this one, and then this is from King Company. That is not the dragonfly that I wanted. I have a dragonfly from Renee Bouquets that Linda had gifted to me, and I pulled it out not too long ago. Do you think I could find that puppy? I spent hours looking for that dragonfly. I could not find it anywhere because I took it out of its home and put it somewhere else, and I have no idea where somewhere else is. I thought I knew. Apparently I don't. You watch. I'll be cleaning here tomorrow, after this is mailed, and I'll find that stinking dragonfly. You watch. And I'll let you know about it. I will. Oh, I used a Martha Stewart punch to punch this right here. It's just a edge punch. And so that's the front of the card. The inside of the card, the outside of the card, I always do when I do mixed media, I always do X's in staples. It's something that was inspired by Miranda a long time ago. She did, she used grommets and she did like a corset on a card. And it just really inspired me, so I always did the X's with the staples. So to cover that up, again, Hoard Vault. I'm telling you guys, I really dug deep for this one. This is a pressed flower from Recollections, and I can tell you that that came from the original Michaels, which was in another town, and we've had the new one for at least 10 years. So that tells you. This is another, I'm all over the place tonight, sorry guys. This is another piece of the paper, the collection, and again I did the frottage on it, stitched it, and I die cut it with a Spellbinder's die that's really long, and I didn't pull that one out. I totally forgot about that one. Because you can't really see it, but anyway, it kind of gives you something to hang on to open the card with. And then here's another one of those, what is it called? Grand labels. To me it's like a top note shape, right? And then to cover up another set of staples, which is on the back side, I used one of these Saw Crafter wood pieces, which again I've had forever and haven't been using them, and another pressed flower because it just kind of mimicked this one, and some more of the gold embossing powder. I also sprayed this one with some, which one was it? One moment please. That sounded a little like Linda. It's the Distress Mica Spray. This one is Tarnished Brass. So, it's that one. And Tim Holtz. That's such a bad habit. And so that is that page, and I will put my sentiment right there. And then the back is just another piece from the collection. Again, die cut, stitched, distressed. The distress ink that I used is, as always, when I use distress ink, it's either black soot or walnut, and this is walnut. Walnut's kind of my go-to. That's the one I grab for. There's the staples. This is just another journaling card from the collection. I punched it again. That's a stamp. I think it came from Michaels. I don't know. I'm going to order a... I want to order a custom stamp. So that is my card. I am going to grab the quilt and I'll be right back. Okay guys, this is the quilt that I made for Linda. It's a lap quilt. And this is called a rag quilt. And the reason it's called a rag quilt is because of the raggy edge here. This is the easiest quilt on the planet. If you can stitch a straight line, you can make this quilt. Seriously, it is so easy. I did a couple of hours for about 3 nights. And the first night I cut out all the squares. There are 35 squares. It measures 55 by 74. So it's a perfect lap size. That's a standard lap size, I do believe. There's 35 blocks altogether, and that includes the top block, the center block, and then the back block. The backing is just a cream colored flannel. I'm trying to show this to you guys. It's kind of difficult. I will say this, I will not use flannel again because it is a fuzz monster. I'm just warning you now, Linda. Yeah. You're gonna need a lint roller. Dollar store. Yeah, a lot of lint from, but I used what I had. This is a charm pack, and let's okay, this was a charm pack that I purchased from Missouri Star Quilt Company, which is a fabulous company in Missouri. Love their fabrics. This is a motif fabric, in case you're wondering, and this line is called, I'll kind of pan down a little bit so you guys can see more of the quilt. This line is called Miss Scarlet. And it's in beiges, creams, and beautiful reds, as you can tell. Linda loves red. She loves creams and browns. So I use this one. You get, I think you get 42 squares. They're 10 by 10 squares in a layer cake is what it's called. And it's right around 20 bucks, which is not too bad, especially for motif fabric. And then the inside block is also flannel as well as the center, and it takes about if you're going to cut it yourself, it takes about 9 yards. Not quite 9 yards, but I do extra, so just because I cut like a blind person sometimes, and so I always get at least a half a yard extra of any fabric that I buy. That's just what I do. For any boo-boos, because it sucks when you're in the middle of a project and you have to go back to the store and hope to God that they still have that fabric. So if you're going to buy fabric for a quilt, buy at least a half a yard of extra. If you're going to do this particular quilt, I recommend that you can do a calico or whatever, a flannel, whatever makes you happy. For the inside square, which is your batting basically, don't use batting. Batting doesn't really last in this particular type of quilt because of the ragging. I would use polar fleece for the inside and the backing next time. A non-pill or even a minky fabric, I think, is what a lot of people recommend. And so I will be making more of these because they really went so quick. So one night I spent about an hour and a half cutting all the inside and the backing squares. And the next night I went around and stitched all the X's. I don't know if you guys can see the X there. You just stitch from corner to corner. That's what I'm saying. If you can do a straight stitch, you can do this quilt. And then you just put the two backs together. You lay all three pieces together. And you put the two, you have, well, when you stitch your X's, you have all three pieces. You lay your two backs together and then you just stitch there. And then you just do it again and stitch the next one and so forth, and then you just put those rows together. It is super simple. So the first night I did all of the cutting, the second night I did all the X's, and the third night I literally put it together. It was like, you know, between an hour and a half and 2 hours. And then I spent about 45 minutes to an hour clipping them all. And I highly recommend that if you're going to make more than one of these, to get a pair of rag snips, which this is what they look like. These are from Fiskars, and they're spring-loaded so they don't hurt your hands. Another pair of spring-loaded scissors will do if you're only going to make one, but if you're going to make more than one, These are well worth it, especially if you get it at Joann's or Michael's with a coupon. And Michael's does carry these. I don't know about Hobby Lobby because I don't have one. I'm jealous of all you guys that do. So, this is my quilt. I really hope that Linda loves it. I absolutely, positively love all the patterns in it. All the colors. I mean, this is just gorgeous fabric. There's polka dots, there's stars, there's stripes. Look at this gorgeous paisley. I mean, that's just beautiful. And I have this fabric in charm packs, which are, I think they're either 4x4 or 5x5 too, for another quilt. So, yeah, I plan on making more of these. These are loads of fun. So that is my share, guys. Sorry it's kind of all over the place. Like I said, it's 3 o'clock, almost 4 o'clock in the morning now, and I gotta go to bed. I am beat, but it's my husband's Friday, so I know it's a Wednesday night, but it's my husband's Friday, so yeah. So I couldn't come make a video when I wanted to, so I had to wait till everybody went to bed. Okay, guys, I will talk to you later. I hope you have a great week and make a happy memory.